We got Queensland, is Australia. Awesome. What about you guys? Catherine, Kareen, Miles, Sunny, Rod, Andres, Justin. Where are you guys calling in from? What city, state? Okay, we got the Philippines in the house. I love the Philippines. Yes, I love the Philippines. Was there actually. Uh, I was living in Davao City for a few months, and I went to Cebu and Manila. Absolutely love the Philippines. One of my favorite places on planet Earth. So shout out to you guys. Such nice people there. UK, awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. Awesome. And we're streaming live now. So everybody that's watching us live on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, go ahead and also drop where you guys are calling in from, where you're watching this from. Philippines, once again, awesome. What by the way, where in the Philippines are you guys located? What is it Visayas? Is it Luzon? Is it um what is the last one called? Uh Mindanao. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Very cool, very cool. I definitely want to come back very, very soon. I miss it. Love Cavite, South Luzon. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, it's awesome to have you guys. It's another day for Divinfi and sharing this beautiful gift that we've created. And I just want to shout out all of the team that we have behind the scenes. Mr. Jamie Devine, the founder of this system, Mr. Will Galendez. He's also from the Philippines. Um, he's our COO, just making some magic happen. We got Ray, we got Spella, and so many other people. We have almost 100 people in the background that are working to create this mission of true freedom. And so I'm super excited. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sam Hidja. It'll soon be Sam Divine. And I'm the chief marketing officer here at Divinfi. And I get the honor and the privilege to share this beautiful gift that we've created over the last, I would say it's a culmination of the last couple of years, right? It's really been starting to get put together in the last, I'd say, several weeks, but truly over the last several years. And so this is all about connection, connecting with the right people all over the world. As you can see, I'm in Dubai right now. We got people in Australia, we got people in the UK, in the Philippines. I mean, our team's actually grown to over 13 countries right now. We got people in the US and Canada and Mexico and Greece and the Philippines, UAE, Romania, like all of these different places. And it would only be possible due to social media and the ability to share a message that truly resonates with amazing people like yourself. And so I'm super excited to share this with you. And so just give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen with you guys and we're going to get right into it. So I want to welcome you all to the biggest launch in history. So this whole system, like I said, is about creating true freedom for all 8 billion people here on Earth. And so what that really entails is the way that we interact and connect and to be able to create freedom, whether it's financially, time, location, and most importantly, the emotional freedom. So a little background on myself because you're probably like, who the heck is this guy? And so, like I said, my name is Sam, and for the last 12 years, I've been an entrepreneur. My last job was a little bit over 12 years ago. I was working at this place called Jared's in the United States where I grew up. And so after getting and leaving that job and going into the car business, things really shifted for me. I started to see that you could create an income, whether part-time, full-time, or big time. And I started to dream again. But when I got into the car business, I realized that I was working so much. I was working 80 hours a week. And then shortly after I left the car industry, I got introduced to this man that showed me a better way. And after the last 12 years, I was able to earn millions of dollars in this industry. I was able to help hundreds of people earn either a part-time income or a full-time income going over six figures. I was able to travel the world. I've been to 25 different countries. I've been able to just experience a lot by the age of 30. And so, um, but what happened is what I realized is like after getting all of the money and having these amazing experiences that it wasn't fulfilling me on a deep level. And so it was in January of this year, actually, I met this man named Don Smith. And I actually met him in the Philippines. So that's why I was out there in the Philippines, is because I flew out there to Don. But before I met Dawn, things were kind of going haywire. And I'll tell you what I mean. I had been just traveling all over Southeast Asia. I went to Japan. I went to all over Thailand, Indonesia, and just other places, Malaysia, so on and so forth, all throughout Southeast Asia. And things were gonna, I had all the time in the world. I had all the, I wouldn't say all the money, but I had pretty good cash flow coming in every single day where I didn't have to work. I think maybe worked 5, 6 hours a day, or not even, sorry, 5, 6 hours in the whole 7 months I was traveling. I didn't really work. Money was just coming in regardless if I wanted to work or not. And so I had all the time to do the things that I wanted, but what ended up happening is all my anxiety, depression, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts started to creep up, and things weren't really going well for me in that department, right? I was married at the time, no longer married. And what ended up happening was is like my addictions started to get way worse. I was addicted to several substances. I was smoking weed every single day. Actually had been smoking it for 12 years, numbing myself because I couldn't fully be able to express and to be able to hold this what the things that I wanted, right? So I had to numb myself. I had to numb myself from experiencing life in its fullest. And so I was addicted to sex, money, travel, people pleasing, validation. And it got to the point to where I was one day in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I'm literally, and I don't say this for sympathy or whatever, I'm just telling you where I was at. I'm in a much better place now. It's night and day difference, but I'm on my penthouse in the balcony, 48th floor. And I've always been a very optimistic kind of guy, but it got to a point where I'm like thinking about jumping off the 48th floor, like almost committing suicide. So the reason why I even share this is because I knew things had to change. And so I ended up actually meeting Don. And speaking of Don, he just came into the room. So, hey, Don. And so I ended up flying to the Philippines, doing this process with Don. And what I experienced was something that cannot be explained. All of the addictions, everything that I was dealing with, the anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, panic attacks, completely gone. And this process that Don does it only takes 2 hours. And some of the people on this call know exactly what I'm talking about. And the way that I like to put it is you finally get out of the way and you're able to finally experience your true self, your supernatural self, which is all of us on this call, right? And so Don has worked with several elite athletes at the Olympic level in 15 different sports. He's worked with 8 billionaires. In fact, there's this one story that really, kind of just, it's very it's a very good example of what happens. So this guy, Tim, was working with Don, and this guy's a multi-billionaire. This guy had all the time, all the money in the world, and he had 5 addictions. He was addicted to food, gambling, sex, drugs, and alcohol. He had a private jet that he hadn't flown on in over 6 months. He was going through a divorce. He hires Don. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he paid him $1 million to do a session with him. Don works with him. He actually worked with both him with Tim and the wife. And in 2 hours, Tim was completely free of all of his addictions, all of his anxiety and panic attacks, and all these things that were plaguing him and keeping him from going out there and living his life, completely gone in 2 hours. So I'm going to give you a little bit more of a breakdown of what actually happened. So there's this chart right here. It's called the consciousness chart that was created by a man named Dr. David Robert Hawkins. And it was actually taken out of his book called Power versus Force. I highly suggest reading it. But what happens is that, all of us, we experience our emotions, and every single emotion is on a level of consciousness, a certain level of, it's a calibration or a vibration or a frequency. All those words are interchangeable. So if you look at the very bottom, shame right here is at a 20 consciousness. Fear is at 100. Courage is 200. Enlightenment is at 700 to 1,000. Okay? So it goes from 0 to 1,000. So for reference, a guy named Hitler was at a 75 consciousness. All the great teachers, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Zoroaster, all of the great teachers were at 700 to 1,000. And what these teachers, great teachers, were saying was that our natural state is enlightenment. You and I's natural state is enlightenment. So, where is the world nowadays? Right? Most of the world's population is under this level right here of 200. I mean, the average consciousness of the entire world is 210, but over 80% of the world is underneath this line right here. Okay, so I'd say even the majority of people are actually at 100. They're living in fear. And so when people ask, why is the world going through so much craziness, whether it's 26 wars that are happening right now, fear and greed and taking resources and all of these crazy things, it's because of the level of consciousness that we're operating at. And so Don's ultimate goal is to help humanity raise its consciousness to a level 700 and above. Okay, so I'll give you a little example of what happened to me personally. And so I was at a level 125 on a good day, which is why I had all of the addictions, which is why I would get the money and then I would get rid of it, which is why I'd sabotage relationships, which is why I would sabotage my health because I wasn't able to fully embody it. I would get it and I'd give it up just as quick. So what happens is there is an energetic anchor. And when I mean anchor, think about yourself in the ocean. You're at the bottom of the ocean and you have an anchor tied to you. And you're trying to get to the top of the ocean. Let's say you get 50% up and then you come right back down because you have this anchor. And so it's the same thing in the consciousness scale. There's something that happened to you before the age of 7, all the way to whenever you were in your mother's womb. Okay, so from 0 to 7, sometime between there was something that happened to you that is an energetic anchor, same as like the ocean example. And so every time you go up and up and up and up, you start to come back down because you have something that happens. So Dawn's able to remove that anchor and then you just naturally float to your natural state, which is enlightenment. So when you get here, things just start to happen magically. It's really awesome actually. Like once you guys experience it, for the people that haven't, it's next level. I mean, no amount of personal development will ever get you there. I mean, I've had invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into personal development, read thousands of books, did energy work, and I did workshops and seminars, leadership workshops, breath work, coaching, got certified in Bob Proctor's thing, so many different things that never helped me to actually hold this high level of frequency and consciousness. And so, um, You just stop playing small, you stop playing victim, and you're able to fully step into you're fully authentic because that's what it is. It's authenticity. That's enlightenment, being your true self. And things just happen. You're at the right place at the right time with the right people. Things just magically start to come into your life. And so we had some people that went through the process last night, and that's super awesome. So Don is actually doing his transformations every single Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays are for new clients and Thursdays are for people that have already done the process because you've done this pattern, this program. For me, mine went all the way back to the womb of my mother. That was where my energetic anchor started. It started in the womb of my mother. So for 30 years, I was playing this pattern out over and over and over and over again. So you need to train that neurocellular muscle so that way you can hold this high level of consciousness. So you want to make sure that you are um, holding this. And so I highly encourage and suggest that you all are continuously staying around the fire. There's power in proximity. And so just make sure that you're there on every Thursday. So when you join Divinfi, you're not just joining a company, you're joining a community that's dedicated to your mutual success and your ultimate empowerment. And so we talked about the consciousness side. Now we're going to talk about the currency side. Okay, so this whole system is about both the consciousness and the currency because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the consciousness to hold it, there's no point because you're going to get rid of it. You're going to sabotage yourself. And then the opposite is true. If you have this high level of consciousness, but no money, then you can't actually affect change on this earth because money's just a tool. Money's just a tool to help you reach new people, to be able to do good. And so we have this tool, which is called Apollo. And so Apollo is an AI that uses deep learning technology, which just means it gets better over time. And it's doing 20 to 50% returns per month, completely hands-free. It's trading crypto futures. Doesn't really matter. Like Jamie says the other day, he's like, it doesn't matter if it's trading soybeans, right? Just as long as you're making money. And so it's the way that it works is you have your own crypto wallet. Let's say it's KuCoin, Binance, Kraken, whatever. You have your money in there. The AI will connect to it. It's just a connection and it's just trading for you completely hands-free. So imagine you're already at work, your money's working for you. Imagine you're at the beach, your money's working for you. Imagine that you're traveling or with your family or whatever, and your money is working for you completely hands-free. And the cool thing is that you have complete control, so you can withdraw at any time. The only caveat is that you will be splitting your profits with the developer. So it's a 50-50 split. So let's say it is 20% in the month. So you would take 10%, the developer will take 10%. So if you got 50% a month, then you would split it 25% for you, 25% would go to the developer. Pretty simple. And just so you know, past performances is not indicative of future results. So there's no guarantees. Whenever it comes to investing, there's always risk. But based off of what we've seen over the last few years, it's been getting at least minimum 20. Is actually the average was 28%. So just so you know. Okay, so I'm going to show you something, and it's the power of compounding. Okay, so compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Albert Einstein said that. So I'm going to show you the power of compounding. I just told you that the minimum, let's say you did 20% in a month, after the profit split, you would have 10%. And the minimum investment is $1,000. So that's pretty affordable for everyone, right? So I'm going to show you something on how this works and how crazy this can actually get whenever you start compounding your money. I know you can't see that, so just give me a moment. I'm gonna share this screen. And okay, cool. So can you guys see this? You guys can see this, right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you. Um, if you put $1,000, that's the minimum, right? And so if you're doing 10% a month, and let's say you had it compounding for 5 years, what would that look like? So you start off with $1,000. After 5 years, you would have $304,481.64. And that's saying that you never add any money to it. So that is the power of compounding. That is the power of compounding. And so I don't really know anywhere else where you can do 10% a month. And that's just saying that that's the minimum that it's going to do, right? So some things to really think about is, number one, if no matter where you are in the world, I'll take the US as an example, okay? So the US, which every other country is actually, their currency is pegged to the US dollar. So the US dollar, if you were to have your money in a savings account, your money, what they would do is they would take your money and they would invest it, because that's what a bank does. You may not know it, but when you put money into a bank, they take your money and they leverage it. Okay, so they're investing in the Forex markets, the crypto markets, the futures markets, all of these different markets. And after a full year, guess what? After they've made hundreds and hundreds of percent using your money, they're going to give you 1%, which doesn't even, that's really nothing, especially when you take into consideration the inflation that is happening nowadays. So, from June 2023 to June 2024, every single month, the US dollar has lost about 1% per month. So that's 12% that was lost in a full year. And they're giving you 1% after that whole year, which is insane. So my question is, where can you actually have your money working for you that is, number one, at least offsetting inflation, which is at least 1% a month? And we're talking about 10% per month here. So the worst thing that you can be doing is having and saving your money. You need to have your money working for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be this, but it needs to be somewhere. So let's move forward. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an investor. So there's four quadrants that you can actually earn income in today's day and age. And so there's a book called The Cash Flow Quadrant by a man named Robert Kiyosaki. And so he talks about, there's number one, the employee quadrant. So as an employee, you work for a corporation, you have a job. Let's say you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. You don't get paid for 10 hours. You get paid for however much time you put into the business. Okay. Now, once you're an employee, the next quadrant is moving from employee to self-employed. So being someone that's self-employed is you don't have a job, but you actually own a job. So when I left my last job, I actually ended up going into the car business, where I was buying cars here. I was buying cars in the US, and I was sending them to Dubai, Saudi Arabia, the Dominican Republic, Cambodia, all these different markets all over the world. And so the way that would work is I'd have to purchase the vehicle, and I'd have to make sure that, it was able to be sold. And, what that would mean is that if I didn't find a good deal, I wasn't getting paid. I'd have to be in my business. Take another example. Let's say you own a smoothie shop, right? You have a business, but you're the lifeblood of that business. Even if you have a couple of employees, if you're not in that business, and if you're not making sure things are running properly, your business fails. So that's what being a self-employed means. So the next step after being self-employed is to move from here to becoming a big business owner. And what a big business owner really means and does is that they have systems. And a system is an acronym, okay? It stands for saving you some time, energy, money. Saving you some time, energy, and money. So it's having leverage. It's having leverage leveraging other people's time and efforts in a way to where you can really do whatever you want and you're still earning income. But the thing is usually whenever you're building a big corporation, like let's say Google or Tesla or any of these things, I mean, there's a lot of overhead in these kind of deals. So, there's another way that we're going to show you how you can have your own system or be a part of a system that you can leverage other people's time and efforts. So, to clarify, let's take Bill Gates as an example. This guy has 100,000 employees. He has 100,000 employees. Each person on this call, every person on earth has 24 hours in a day. So, I mean, time isn't the factor, or hard work is not the factor when it comes to creating wealth. And I'll give you an example why that's true is because if hard work and time were the factors to create wealth, then we would see construction workers be the most paid. But that's not true, obviously. They work so hard, but they're not really reaping those benefits. So what is the key to creating wealth? And that is leverage. So Bill Gates, 100,000 employees times 24 hours, that's 240,000 man hours that Bill Gates leverages every single day. So that's how he's able to get so much done, because he has a system that people are working in, that he's able to leverage. Now, after you're a big business owner, the goal is to take your cash flow and start to invest and become an investor. But the thing is, back in the day, it would take a lot of money for you to actually become an investor. The traditional model would be either real estate or, buying stocks and bonds or whatever. But nowadays with technology, you can actually invest as little as a couple, $10, $1,000. With their AI, obviously it's $1,000. So you can be an employee, you can be self-employed and still become an investor. But let's say you don't have the money. The goal is to create cash flow first and then start to get into the investor sector. So we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. 95% of the world uses active income and 5% uses passive income. So passive income is doing the work one time and getting paid for that work over and over and over again. And we're going to talk about it. So if you want to use our amazing system and become a part of this ecosystem, there's one package. It is called the Freedom Pack. It's $149 to start up, meaning $149 one time, and then it's $99 per month. And the cool thing is we have something that says if you refer three people, you get your membership for free. Pretty sweet. So you use the AI, it's doing amazing. You share with your friends, your family. When they get started, if you get three of them, now your membership is completely waived. Pretty awesome. You use Don's product, Don's process, and you have a wonderful transformation. You share with other people. When you have three, your membership is free. Pretty straightforward. Okay. Awesome. So let's talk about the partnership program. So we have a way for you to actually create some really awesome income for sharing these products. So number one, we do have a plan. We have a partnership plan where you can actually earn infinite income. So it goes anywhere from $100 a month to $4 million a month. So for the people that want to go big time, we have enough for you guys. And the second thing that's really cool about this is that you can create residual income, meaning you can build this out one time and get paid for it over and over and over and over again. So let's take into consideration, let's look at the traditional model of creating residual income. Let's say you wanted to create residual income in the traditional model of things. So one good way to do it would be real estate. You could purchase a property. Let's say you wanted to create $500 in residual income. What that would look like is actually going and getting a house. Let's say it's 250,000 for the house. Your mortgage is $1,500, right? $1,500 for the mortgage. You find someone to rent that out for, let's say, $2,000 a month, right? Now you're earning $500 in passive residual income. So it took you 250,000 to make $500 in residual income. And people are doing this, right? People do this all the time. So just keep that in mind. It would take 250,000 in leverage to be able to make $500. And I'm going to show you a way way easier, way faster, way better. Now, the third qualification or the third point is that there are no qualifications or experiences needed. So it doesn't matter if you went to Yale, doesn't matter if you went to jail. Okay. And I've been to jail. I've been to jail, nothing crazy, nothing serious. But with that being said, I actually came to America at the age of 1 year. And I mean, we didn't grow up in a very rich family. In fact, a very poor family. My dad paid about $200 a month in rent for a trailer. This trailer had bullet holes. I mean, I went to school, didn't really do well in school, didn't even try. In fact, was asleep maybe 7 out of 8 periods out of every single day. Went to college. I left college at my second year. And thankfully, I got around the right people, the right information. And that really shifted my entire life for the better. So if I could do it, every single person on this call could 100% do it. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter what your results were in the past. The only two qualifications that you need in this industry is to have an open mind, an open heart. And then number two is to be coachable and to follow the system that we've created for you. Now, the last thing is that there are team building incentives. So that means that you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. You have a whole community that's here to help you just really reach the goals that you have set out for yourself. So let's get into it. So this is the plan, right? This is the partnership plan. This is how you can create some residual income. So I'm going to explain a couple of things and we're going to get right into it. So we have the rank name. So you have the rank name, which is like, I guess you could, in a corporate sense, your role. You have your network size. This is how many people are in your network total. This is your personal referrals. This means how many you've personally referred. Your weekly payout, this is how much you get paid every week. And then a one-time rank bonus, how much you're going to get paid once you hit this rank. Very simple. So to hit inviter, you need a total of 3 people, 3 memberships. So 2 need to be on your left team, 1 need to be on your right, or vice versa. It could be 2 on the right, 1 on the left. Pretty simple. Out of those 3, only 2 need to come from you. 1 need to be on your left, 1 need to be on your right. Let's say it's your mom and your dad. Okay, very simple. And then you get paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. Pretty simple. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. What's really cool about this is we pay you 3 ways. So you get the weekly payout, you get the one-time rank bonus, and then we pay you $50 per membership. So let's say you brought your mom and your dad. So $50 times 2, that's $100. But until the end of the month, we're paying you double. So we're paying you $100 per membership. So your mom and your dad, instead of 100, we're paying you 200. Okay. Very cool. Now we have connector 200. To hit connector 200, you need 4 on your left, 4 on your right. So that's 8 total. Only 2 needed to come from you. Okay. 2 need to come from you. So let's say it's your mom and your dad. Your mom, let's say she brings 3 people in. Your dad brings 3 people in. Now you're getting paid $50 times 4, which is $200 per month. And then we pay you a one-time bonus of $200. Pretty awesome. Okay. Now connector 500, 10 on your left, 10 on your right. Only 2 needed to come from you. And you're getting paid $125 a week. That's $500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $500. Okay, just for hitting that rank, we're paying you a one-time bonus of $500. Now, remember what I told you, it would take a $250,000 that you'd have to leverage from the bank just to earn $500 a month. Okay, so you just accomplished this, but just by bringing 2 people to utilize membership and teaching them how to get there too, and then there too, and then there too, and then now you have 20 people that are using a membership that's making them money, helping them with their consciousness. and now you're getting paid $500 a month. Pretty sweet. Very simple, very easy, very to the point. Now connector 900, you need 20 on your left, 20 on your right. So that's one on your left, one on your right. Same to your mom and your dad. You're getting paid $225 a week. That's $900 a month. And then we give you a one-time bonus of 900 bucks. Awesome. Pretty sweet. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll answer them after this. I'm gonna just run through these last couple. So connector 1500, you're doing the same thing as you can see, right? It's like 20 on your left, 20 on your right. Now you get 40 on your left, 40 on your right. You're teaching them how to get there too. All you got to do is focus on this one rank. So it's just, you know, Rome was built one brick at a time. Okay, so 40 on your left, 40 on your right. Out of those 80 total, you only need to bring 2 on your left and 2 on your right personally. So let's say it was your mom and your dad. Now you invite your sister and your brother. Okay, very simple. Weekly payout is $375 a week. That's $1,500 a month. And then when you hold this rank for 2 months, we're going to pay you a one-time bonus of $1,500. Okay, and so it just doubles, right? 3K, $3,000 a month. And then we give you a one-time bonus of 3K. Networker 5K, right? So 200 on your left, 200 on your right. You're getting paid $5,000 a month divided by 4, which is $1,250 a week, and then $5,000 one-time bonus. Okay, so I want you to just, I'm not saying that you are going to do this, but let's say you were going to build this business in your mind. Okay, in your mind, I want you to think of what number would it take for you to actually take this seriously? What number? And I'll give you an example because I know this all too well. So our buddy Will, I mentioned that he was from the Philippines. So he had built a business similar to this a few years ago with Jamie. And so at the time, he was working as a customer service agent, and he was earning himself about $300 a month, working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. Okay, so he worked, how many hours is that? 48 hours a week minimum, I think. I'm not that good at math, but I think that's correct. 48 hours, and he was getting paid $300 a month. So what was crazy is that Will, in 3 months, he hit this rank right here, connector 1500, because they had a very similar plan to this. So he only referred a few people. I think it was like 3 or 4 people, and he ended up hitting connector 1500. So he ended up actually 375 times 4, that's $1,500 in a month. He ended up 5xing his income from his job after 3 months. So this can really change things for you. So to yourself or to the person that invited you, I want you to share what that number would look like. How much money would you need to earn from this plan for you to take this seriously? Okay. Now, let's go to the next page. So $9,000 a month, same thing. Instead of only 2, now you need 3. It's just about, you know, and it's really simple. I've already brought 20 people personally into this system, and I'm already busy with my other business that I have and back end stuff. So it really, what it is just sharing your excitement about what we're creating and educating people, right? Inviting them to these calls. You don't necessarily have to be the person to explain everything. In fact, I would say do not explain it, just invite and let them make their own decision. And I'll give you an example. I had this business that I was building about 8 years ago, and I invited my friend Tiffany. She was 21 years of age at the time, working as a waitress, making $2,000 a month, maybe less, right? Because it's up and down as a waitress. And she ended up joining the company. It was actually much higher. It's 600 something dollars to get started. And so she got started because she knew she needed to make a change in her life. And she ended up, she's like, hey, Sam, like, I don't know if I can actually do this. You know, she was very introverted. And so I told her, like, all you got to do is just invite them to the Zoom calls. You just got to, the person that's going to show the information the most is going to make the most money. So she took that to heart and just started inviting people whether to the Zoom calls or the in-person meetings or whatever. And after 3 months, Tiffany went from earning $2,000 at her waitressing job to earning over 15,000 smackaroonies, $15,000 every single month. Okay. And she brought her mom in, her uncle, and her mom was working at a warehouse. After 3 months, she was earning over $10,000 a month. Her uncle was working at Chase Bank, could barely speak English. He was from Vietnam. He had came like a few months before that, and he was earning over $10,000 a month. So the reason why I say this is that if they could do it, you could do it. You just got to invite to the calls, and we're going to do trainings to show you exactly how to do that and allow them to get educated and to see what the possibilities are for themselves. And, if they get started, then you get the credit. Very simple. So speaker 9K, like I said, you're earning 2,250 a week, $9,000 one-time rank bonus. And it just continues to go, right? 15,000 a month, 25,000, $100,000 a month. The cool thing is that we actually added a fourth way to get paid for all the people that want to go big time with this. And so this starts at speaker 25K. So at speaker 25K, we created something called the global pool bonus. So at the global pool bonus, what we do is we take 1% of all the global sales in the company and we put them in a pool. And then we divide that between the number of people or the number of shares that are at this level. So let's say there's $1 million in the global pool. You get one share at speaker 25K. And so let's say there's 10 shares, you get 1 out of 10 shares of the million. So you would get an extra $100,000 on top of what you're already making, which is $25,000 a month. Okay. Now, 250,000 a month, 500,000 a month, $75,000 a month, $1 million a month. And so Master 750K, we have a second share of the global pool that you get. So let's say there's 10 shares, you get 2 of those 10. There's $1 million in the pool. You get 200,000 on top of the 750,000 that you're getting. Pretty simple, pretty straight to the point. And so super excited about this. And so oh, there's a couple more ranks. I forgot. So there's $2 million a month, $4 million a month. It's really it's up to you where you want to be. If you build this like a business, you're going to get paid like a business. If you build this like a hobby, then you're going to get paid like a hobby. Maybe you only want to earn an extra $500 a month. That's fine. It's up to you and where you see yourself. Okay. Now we are in pre-launch. And so what that means is that we're at a ground floor opportunity. It's ground floor. And when it comes to business, it's always about timing, timing, timing. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you had a time machine right now, and you went all the way back to the very beginning of when Apple launched, and you ended up like investing in Apple. Let's say $1,000, $10,000, and then now look at Apple, right? It's the number one company in the entire world. It's worth over $3 trillion. $3 trillion. So if you invested back then, what would have happened? You'd be a multi-millionaire. So that's the exact opportunity that you have right now with Divinfi. Okay, so Divinfi is more than just a financial system. It's a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. So if you're ready to get started, get back to the person that invited you, or if you're viewing this on their profile, shoot them a message and tell them that you want to get started. They're going to have a unique link for you to get started with us, and that way they get credit. And so we have a couple of exciting promotions that I want to announce as well. We announced the first one, which is the double up promotion, which will end at the end of the month. And then the second one is that we're giving away some awesome prizes. So if you bring in 10 people personally, 10 referrals, 10 directly, you're going to get a brand new GoPro. If you bring 20 directly, you're going to get a brand new iPhone. And if you bring 30 directly, you're going to get a brand new MacBook. So we're going to give you until August the 19th because we announced this actually a couple days late. So a little bit under 60 days to get 10, 20, or 30. Doesn't matter if we have 100 people we're going to give away 100 MacBooks or 100 iPhones or 100 GoPros. Personally, I'm going to be going for the MacBook because the last time I bought one was about 2 years ago, so it's time for an upgrade. So I look forward to for you guys to get these awesome prizes. And the last promotion is if you hit the rank of Connector 1500, we're going to get you a 3-day, 2-night stay at the hotel where we're hosting our event. So we're having our first event. It's looking like Miami, Florida. And so definitely look forward to seeing you guys there. And then if you hit Connector 3000, we're paying for your flight, your hotel, and then access, VIP access to the event. So like I said, it doesn't matter if we have 100 people, every single person has the chance to get these prizes. And so I really, really, really am excited for this, and I'm hoping to see you all there. And if you want to stay connected with all things Divinfi, scan this QR code, follow us on Instagram. We're posting a lot of cool content there, our Facebook group, Telegram, and all the different social medias. And so thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving me your attention. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take those questions now. Give it a couple of minutes so that way you can just get clarity on anything that didn't make sense. Any questions? Andres, Barbara, Karine, Catherine, Miles, Rod, Sunny, Tui? All right. Looks like everyone got it. What is the inclusion of the membership? So the inclusion of the membership is you get Don's program, okay? And you get the AI. Don's program and the AI. And plus, we're going to be doing trainings all the time and whatnot. You get all of those things as well. We had some other products, but we actually got rid of them because we wanted to really focus in on the most important ones, which is the consciousness side, which is Don's program, and then the currency side, which is the AI. Is there any other investments for AI? No. So I mean, you just invest whatever you can afford. The minimum investment for the AI is $1,000. You're welcome to put in more. And if you don't have the money, my suggestion is build up the compensation side of things, start to get a team, right? And then what happens is you take the money that you have from your commissions and you can start to have that work for you. Right? It's moving from the big business owner sector to the investor sector. You're starting to build up some cash flow, and then you now have your money work for you. Is the weekly payout lifetime once you invite? So it's not just invitation, right? You don't just invite. They have to sign up, and because you're getting paid off of the membership, the volume of the membership. So it's like I said, it's 149 for the first month, and then it's 99. Yes, exactly. So when they sign up, so $99 a month. So we're paying you that residual based off of the volume in your organization. So just as long as you're active, you're going to get paid every single week. You're welcome. Any other questions? Not all at once. How many days the payout will be credited to your bank account once you withdraw? So right now we are moving systems. So we're gonna have a fully automated system that's gonna be on the blockchain. So it will literally be instantaneous. Right now, it's just really based off of your bank. Sometimes it could take a day, sometimes it could take 3 days. Just depends on your personal bank. But we right now, actually, as we speak, we have our staff calculating the commissions because we have the um right now we have the promotion going on and it wasn't reflective in the back office. So we're just making sure that everybody's going to get paid what they're owed. And so Tui's asking, he sent me so 3 signups, monthly subscription is free. So if you're a customer, just to clarify, if you're only a customer, if you're not a partner, if you're a customer and you refer 3 people, then what ends up happening is that your membership is free. If you become a partner and you start to build the business, then you start to build a business, that's how you start to get paid the monthly or the weekly residual and all the different bonuses and all that. So Barbara says, does this include Josh's program? So Josh's program is no longer available for Divinfi, but if you've already invested in it, your investment's still going. We talked about this the other time, but it's just a little bit too complicated when it comes to tracking all the individual investments and all that. It would have cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars just to build out the system. But like I said, if you've already invested in Josh's program, once he sells off the coins, you'll get your investment. So whatever that is, if it's 1,000% on $1,000, you'd get your 10,000. Obviously, and there's that split. So the member of Divinfi needs to be minimum of 18 years of age. Is there any age limit? I mean, there's ways around it. I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but we don't necessarily have an age limit right now, especially with the crypto and all that. It doesn't, there's ways around it.
Go easy, Sam.
So yeah, it's up to you. I'm not gonna say yes or no or whatever. All right, guys. Any more questions? You're very welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you all. Once again, this really wouldn't be, we would not be able to do and fulfill our mission of truly helping the world without you guys. So I really appreciate you guys being here and being on this mission with us. And so if there's anything that I could help support you with, make sure to just reach out. And yeah, we'll see you at the next call will be at 5 a.m. Dubai time. So that's in, I'm pretty bad at math. I think like 9 hours. So we'll send out a message in the Telegram group. If you're brand new, make sure to get back to the person that invited you and get any of your questions answered. And if they don't know, they can ask one of the leaders and we can get you started and get you going. And just to kind of wrap this up, you know, the biggest risk in life is really taking zero risk at all, right? A lot of you are asking yourself, like, what if it doesn't work? My question is, what if it does work? What if it works and it gets crazier than your wildest dreams? Then what? You don't want to be that person that was on these calls and then a year later the buddy that invited you, his life is completely changed and shifted and you're like, damn it, I wish I invested. Like I had a buddy, his dad invested in Apple, and guess what, he sold his shares months later. To this day he kicks himself in the ass. To this day, there's always a what if. Exactly, there's always a what if. And we're creative beings. We create all of these different circumstances, situations, and the other thing is like, okay, let's say it does, let's say you don't do well in this. At least you gave it a try, because at the end of the day, whenever you get to your grave, like, yo, I wish I had given it my all. Okay. And the thing is, I mean, not not to be like, wasteful or whatever, but at the end of the day, let's say you did put a couple, $149 or $99 a month or whatever. I mean, what most people spend that on dinner, shoes, whatever, at the minimum. Even if you just become a customer and put some money into the I mean, you can earn income that way. Even if you just, and not, this is actually the least amount I would say is doing Don's program, because Don's program, I mean, some people have paid him, like I said, $1 million just to do a session with him. I personally didn't pay him, I paid him way more. Okay. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm not going to say how much, but it's multiple five figures. Okay, so you guys take advantage of what is here in front of you, get the questions that you need answered, and then just make a decision. This is something that I learned from Think and Grow Rich. It's a book that was written by Napoleon Hill, where he actually went and interviewed the 500 top successful people in the world at his time. And one of the things that he found out was is that successful people, one of the biggest things is that they're able to make a decision very, very quickly and they change their minds very, very slowly. While failures, they take forever to make a decision and they change their mind extremely quickly. So, regardless if it's a yes or a no, just make a decision and just stick to it. So, anyways, guys, infinite love. Thank you for being the best part about Divinfi. We'll see you at 5 a.m. Dubai time. And let's get it to the moon
And beyond.
and beyond.